I'm so excited to do this video, guys, because we're featuring probably one of my favorite cars of all time, not just race cars, cars in general, right? Because of its history, the livery, the way it looks, and growing up, I use this car in video games as well. For Gran Turismo fans out there, you know what I mean, right? So this is probably my most used car, and I'm so glad they're still including this car in modern sim racing games that I play. So I'm definitely spoiled, like from growing up. Now that I'm an adult, I still get to use this in games. So but anyways, we're lucky that our favorite brands, this is Pop Race and this is Motorhelix, are producing these masterpieces, right? And then now we're gonna go ahead and compare them because, spoiler alert, both of them are not perfect, at least in my opinion. I'm no expert, but this is just based on what I've seen on the pictures, videos, and stuff like that. And then I'll talk to you guys about that, and I'll explain it to you the best I can. Hopefully, I'm right, and hopefully, this video helps you make a decision on which one to purchase. Again, this is Pop Race, this is Motorhelix. Now let's talk about the price real quick. Let's just get that out of the way, right? Pop Race is like 20 USD to 22, depending where you get them. So obviously, Pop Race wins in that department because it's cheaper and it's detailed, right? However, Motorhelix, I think MSRP is, I want to say 50 or 60, something like that. So this is definitely more because it comes with accessories and then features, which I'm going to discuss in a bit. So let's just get it out of the way. Pop Race is cheaper. Motorhelix is more expensive, right? So just, take that as we discuss this. Hopefully that helps you make a decision at the end of the video, which one to get. If you want to go cheaper, slightly cheaper, or more expensive, but more accessories and stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and discuss the paint first. So Pop Race, I feel like I pre-check all deliveries, the sponsors and all that. They're both accurate, right? So from the front, you got your Renown, Mazda, Charge, and then on the side, NGK and all that. Even the names, I already checked the names of the drivers. See if I can shine a light on here. Yep, it's too tiny and I don't have a macro lens, guys, so I'm sorry. And I wanna say that the sponsors are accurate compared to the one-in-one car, so you don't have to worry about that, right? But I want to discuss the paint here real quick. Right now, I want to say that the paint on the Pop Race, while nice, it's nice. The model's nicely painted, right? However, in my opinion, again, hopefully I'm right, but in my opinion, based on videos and photos that I've seen online, the colors are a bit dark. The orange is darker, the green is darker, and in my opinion, this is not accurate because the paint in real life is more saturated and it's more vibrant. See, the orange is a bit dark, green is a bit dark, and this is Motorhelix. In my opinion, the orange is brighter and lighter, which is accurate, and also the green, even without the light. Let me see without the light. This is what I'm saying. This is accurate because even without the light, the green and orange still pops and it's still bright compared to Pop Race, which is darker, right? Now, it's up to you. If you prefer the darker colors, then go with Pop Race, right? But as far as accuracy goes, I think Motorhelix nails the paint, right? Let's put the light back on. Now, let's talk about, we're not going to talk about that yet. Okay, let's talk about the wheels. Motorhelix has brake details, and I think you can see the Brembos on the right. It's painted in red. See if I can zoom in here. Yeah, it's somewhere there. It's red. You see the brake rotors. And of course, the rivets on the wheels on the 5-spoke. These are Volk wheels, Volk racing wheels. And but I'm gonna show you in a bit where the Pop Race wins here. But the wheels are both good, front and back, right? Of course, you got your tire printing, Dunlop. The tires, Motorhelix is better because I like how they did the tires. They made it. I think they sanded this, so it looks more worn, right? Whereas Pop Race, they're still using. They still put on slicks, right? But it's like it doesn't look used at all or worn. So it's like brand new slicks, right? Which is fine. But in terms of the wheels itself, like I said, the wheels look good. Put more light here. But no brake details inside. And that's, of course, in the back and front. So that's where they cut corners or they cut cost, right? To save you some money. No brake details. They usually do. Like in some of my Pop Races models, they have brake details, if I remember correctly. But in this case, however, they did not include that, which I get it because they want, Pop Race's goal is to provide collectors the most accurate, representation of their of your favorite cars, but they also want to save you guys some money. So, and that's what Marchie Lee said to me when I met him in person in LA. So they want to keep that price low for collectors. So, which I get. Anyways, going back to this model, this is where the Pop Race wins in terms of details on the wheel details, because of course you have your 5-spoke and then the rivets around the wheel, but they have this printing on the wheel itself. That's I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a red lettering there on the right, and that's for the Superfine mag. If you look this up, I'll try to put the photo here in the video so you guys can compare. And then on the left here, there should be a Volk Racing lettering there somewhere. Whereas Motorhelix didn't have that at all. So there's no lettering whatsoever on the 5-spoke. So if you care about that, then Pop Race wins in that department. Now, let's talk about... Oh, before I forget, let's talk about the rivets on the side window. Motorhelix, I don't know if they just forgot, but I don't see any rivets at all around the side windows. If you look at Pop Race, you see those silver dots. So they didn't forget about the rivets on the window. I don't know why. They're usually pretty good at that, Motorhelix, but for some reason they forgot about that, right? I don't know why. Anyways, going back to Motorhelix. Motorhelix, of course, they included the antenna, which is, I'm a big fan of antennas in 64. In fact, in all scales, right? When the brands put the antenna there, it makes me really happy. I know, that's how I am. They are very fragile, and I broke a few of them already in some of my other models, but I don't mind it. I like having the antennas up there. It looks good on display, and they look more scale, if you ask me. However, Pop Race did not include antenna, which is, at least I kind of expected that, because again, they're cutting costs, right? And it's a lot easier to store, if you ask me, without the antenna, and less things to break, right? Now, side mirrors. Side mirrors, they both have reflective sticker right there on both sides. Right there on both sides. Oops, sorry about that. Now, what else can we talk about? Okay, so I think we talked about the exteriors. Oh, I want to mention this. This additional points for Pop Race, because I know this is probably not a big deal to you guys, but they included these tiny dots. See those black dots in front, both sides? I think those are for the fastener in real life, but they added that there, but Motorhelix did not. So no black dots in front. And also in the back, I think this is just a tiny vent right there. See the black one? Motorhelix, did not have that tiny dot, which is the vent in real life. Also, the door handle. It's here, right there, both sides. I believe that's a door handle. Motorhelix does not have door handles, which is unfortunate. Like, how are we gonna open the doors, right? No, just kidding. But yeah, so big props for Pop Race by including that. And also the vents, they're a bit different. I mean, the vents here, I mean, it's split into two, but as you can see, the metal in the middle is more detailed to me than this. And then of course this vent in the back here does not go through the casting. This one does, if you care about that, of course. And there's a vent here on the left as well, which Pop Race, I don't know why they split that. I think this is more accurate, Pop Race. I think. Gotta find a photo for that. Anyways, wing, they're the same font style and everything, just the colors, right? This is darker, obviously. This is Pop Race, this is Motorhelix, just for reference, so I don't forget, and you guys don't forget as well. And this Charge logo is there and nicely printed. I guess, oh yeah, headlights. Okay, let's talk about, let me, because my camera can't focus at two cars for some reason. The housing, the headlight housing are both fine. As far as details, I think they're both detailed, right? But one thing I've noticed in Motorhelix is that the headlights inside are shinier, so I think they use a different paint. And for Pop Race, they use like a flat silver or gray paint. But again, at least they got the housing right? So it's black. And someone, I think someone on Discord mentioned this. You see this line around the headlights with some rivets, the silver rivets. So for Pop Race, you can see that here on this model, right? Whereas on Motorhelix, it kind of blended in the, they kind of blended in the hood. So you don't see rivets around the housing, right? And in fact, I don't see that line at all on Motorhelix. So that's another thing. Now, back end, they both look fine. I think they printed Mazda speed on both sides here, if I'm not mistaken. Mazda speed, yep. And then I don't know about this line. I think it's probably just vents on top of the Mazda speed. And the lights are not acrylic, they're just painted. But one thing I'll say for Motorhelix, take note, just remember this part right here that holds the brake lights, and also the wing support. Okay, so wing support is solid, no holes in between, and that includes the plastic that holds the lights. Okay, Motorhelix, I think, nailed that. So you see there's the wing support first. If you look at that, this is accurate. So you have holes in between the wing support. They use die-cast metal instead of plastic, which is a huge plus. Now, the support that holds the brake lights are also better, in my opinion, more detailed, more holes. And I think the paint that they use on the brake lights and the turn signals are brighter, more saturated. So it's consistent. The paint is consistent across the boards. For the paint, it's more vibrant, saturated for Motorhelix and darker on Pop Race, right? So, and of course, another difference is the wheel, not the wheel cap, but the fuel caps are more detailed here. They're on both sides, right? And then on the Pop Race, sorry about that. Pop Race, they're just almost looks like it's smaller and less detailed. And of course, both of them have the Mazda printed on the side of the wings. Pop Race, Mazda. It has some silver, silver dots. I think those are rivets that connects the middle part of the wing to the side. So that's actually a huge one. I just noticed that. That's a plus for Pop Race. So so far, if you're on a budget, this is so great. But wait until you get to the engine detail, because that's what essentially what you're paying for the motor helix, right? So let's do the front first. Let's take this out, and also I want to say this right now. Pop Race's magnets are way better than motor helix. They just see that, and then they don't shake. They don't make any sound when you shake it. They don't fall off, right? Whereas motor helix, I'm afraid to do this, but whatever. Oh, they don't. Okay, so they don't fall off, but I feel like Pop Race's magnets are stronger. But one thing that I really like on the Motor Helix one though is the magnet placement. I'll show you guys in a bit why. Okay, let's talk about the front end first. Let's take this off, and the details. The intercooler is okay, for its price, right? It's not much lines there that you can see. But I also don't like the magnet placement. So take note of this placement here. This is Pop Race, right? They put it here in the middle, and that's probably why it's stronger. Well, one thing is the magnets are bigger, and then the placement too. So that I think that helps, right? But take note of this. Remember this, because there should be more like cooling details there in real life and also in Motor Helix. But for some reason, Pop Race put the magnets on this in the middle, which I really don't like, right? That's Pop Race, Motor Helix. Move this bad boy. You see where Motor Helix put their magnets? They're tiny, right? They're right there, but they're not in the way. So they're able to add more details for cooling in the middle, which is, to me, is excellent. And then, of course, the intercooler here is more detailed. You can see the defined lines. And the Mazda Speed is, the font that they use here is smaller too. So I think it's more to scale. And here's what I was talking about, the worn soft tires. You can see like it looks like they sanded it. And they did the same thing on the YS C9, which I really appreciate. By the way, the wheels, both of them are good rollers. They're not excellent, but they do roll. So just want to get that out of the way. So let's put this back on and then check the money shot, right? The engine detail. This is what you're paying for the Motor Helix one. And I hope I can show this side by side. Okay. So for reference, this is Pop Race. This is Motor Helix, right? Okay, here's the big one. See the do you see the intercooler on the left-hand side? So Motor Helix right here on the right is more detailed. And then also on the back, there is another small intercooler there. Or something, it might not be the intercooler. It might be the radiator or some sort for a component for cooling. I'm not that good in the engine portion of the car, especially for the 787B. So I don't know everything in the anatomy, so forgive me. But I think there's just cooling radiator in the back. See this one? For Pop Race, it's so small, the one in the back, right? And Motor Helix, I think it's a perfect size, the one in the back right here. And those support rods, I think Motor Helix wins because I like how thin the support rods are, the support bars, I should say. It's more to scale than Pop Race. It's a bit thicker that they did. I mean, it's not too bad, but if you put them side by side, you can tell the difference in terms of thickness. I think this is more to scale. Now, Pop Race, depending on what kind of engine photo you guys are looking at, I'll try to include the photo that I saw here. But these blue plugs that connects to the engine are more accurate, I think. Again, it depends on what photo you guys are looking at, right? They painted those blue, those plugs or those cables. They painted in blue, which is accurate based on the photos that I've seen, right? However, they don't have those very skinny wires that connects to the engine, which the Motorhelix does. Right here. You see those? See those wires right there? You can actually tell that those tiny wires connects to the engine, which is awesome. I like seeing those tiny wires. And then also, again, I want to talk about, I think this is just the vents, right? The intake. So this goes to the engine. So it cools the engine as it takes cold air, right? And then again, let's talk about the magnet placement. See here, that's where they put the tiny magnets for the cover on both sides. Take note of that, right? Because I hate where Pop Race put it. Because I was looking at the engine, I was like, what are those two canisters? And they're not canisters, they just put it on there. So these are the magnets. They decided to put it in the metal. I'm like, what are those? I haven't seen those in real life, like in the photos. I mean, what are those cooling stuff for? And they're not. They're just magnets. They decided to put the magnets there. Sure, it's stronger, but it's less accurate because in place of those two magnets, you're supposed to see this. You see this bronze plate, and then I think there's a canister there. I don't know if this is for the brake fluid or not, but there should be something there on top of this bronze plate. And then there's again there's more bronze plate on the right side. So I don't know why Pop Race did that, but whatever. I think this is the perfect placement for the magnets. So, and again, these tires are so nice. They're so worn. But yeah, that's the main difference. But the engine detail, this is what you're paying for here, guys. Tiny wires, engine details. My goodness. Do you think this is worth $50, $60? I think so. And even this intake right here looks solid. But yeah, let's take this up because I don't want it to fall. But now on the side, I forgot to mention the exhaust. I think they're tied here. I think they did a pretty good job on the exhaust part. It's painted really well. I don't think this is metal. Hopefully it is because it looks metal to me. And the exhaust tip is painted nicely. Pop Race, same thing, painted nicely. Yeah. So what else? Did I miss anything else? I hope not. Oh, the bottom. Let's check out the base. Pop Race, of course, they use metal base. Not a lot of details in the bottom, but you got your Pop Race logo here, upside down. Made in China. There's no, of course, made in China, and there's no information about the car, which is unfortunate. But yeah, here's for comparison. Here's the Motorhelix. It's also metal, right? But they got these support bars here. Do they have that on Pop Race? They do, but again, thicker, right? This is more to scale, if you ask me. Let's see, Motorhelix right here on top. And hey, they have the car information down here. I appreciate that, Motorhelix. Thank you so much. 164 Mazda 787B. In terms of licensing, they are both licensed. Let me double check my Pop Race, but Motorhelix is for sure licensed. Here's Pop Race's box right here. So Mazda, I think this is their license right here. There's no sticker or anything, but they Mazda approved it. And of course, Motorhelix, do they have? Yeah, they have the approval printed on the box as well. So, okay, so at least I hope that helps. But I just want to show you. Let me put Pop Race away for a little bit because I want to show you the additional accessory that you get for that $50 that you're gonna spend. So along with the car, you get these accessories, right? These are the stands for your engine cover, right? So you got two sizes, one the long ones and a couple of the small ones. I'll show you guys how this works. Okay, so the shorter ones are for the front, right there. And then big ones for the back. There you go. They also come with turbofan wheel covers. So a couple of gold ones. I'm going to try to zoom in later. And then a couple of the white ones right here. So they are very easy to put on. So let's do the white one first. It works like that. Right? And they don't really fall off. And like that. They look good. Oh. Oh, they just fall off. I lied. They're not that strong. The magnets, they're using magnets, right? But they're not super strong. I mean, if you're going to put them on display, there's no problem. You know, if you're not going to roll the car around, that's fine. At least you got options, right? They look good. They look super good. Now, let me try the gold ones, because personally, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Okay. That looks cool. That looks cool. And now let's put on... Oh, yeah, again, they're not the strongest magnet. Now let me put on the cover, because I like this look a lot. I like this look a lot. There you go. Sheesh. Look at that. And I think they got the stance right too, my goodness. Turbofan wheel cover, gold. Looks great. Oh, one more thing. I just noticed this. So this one, Motorhelix, it comes with that red tow hook in the front. Pop Race does not come with that. No red tow hook, right? Still look good though. But yeah, I have reached my time limit. But I was gonna say, like, I don't mind, you know, spending 30 minutes looking at this car, and I spend more, to be honest, looking at these cars because they're so good. I think we're at the golden age of 64 scale collecting, because we're getting stuff like this, and there's more to come. Motorhelix already announced the GT40 with opening features, and they got the Koenigsegg. I forgot which car. Koenigsegg 1, I think, with opening features, and there's more coming. And for Motorhelix, they already know what they're doing, because they started at 18 scale, so they got the details down already for the engine and all that. But I don't know why they're missing some of the key details that I discuss here against Pop Race, right? It's just a head scratcher, like the rivets on the window. I feel like that can be added easily, but they forgot. Oh, no, I can't put this on. Where's the other one? Did I lose it? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, as I said, Motorhelix is just getting started in 64 scale, and I'm glad they brought this model here for us. So, and I'm glad they made this 787B for us in 64 scale. And for those 118 fans, they're making a 118 scale of this. So I'm probably gonna get that, because this car is so legendary to me. I'll probably double dip and triple dip in this case, right? But I might sell this, because I only need one 64 scale. So I might sell my Pop Race. Not because it's bad, because I already have my end game piece here, if you will. This is my end game for 64 scale. But unfortunately for Pop Race, I might sell this. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully this helps you decide which model to get and where you spend your money. You know, that's the main goal of this video, for me at least, is to help collectors decide, you know, which model, which brand to get before they spend their hard-earned money, you know, because these are not cheap. They're not cheap anymore, guys. You know, they're not $10, $12. They're at 20 and up now. Okay. So hopefully this helps, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.